Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie and my channel is all about luxury, vintage, fashion, and styling. So if you're interested in any of those, please consider subscribing by hitting the button below. Welcome back to my Handbag 101 series. Today I'm going to be talking all about how to choose the right handbag for you. So a lot of times I get asked, would you recommend this bag? Whatever bag it may be. And it's such a personal thing, a handbag. It totally depends on your lifestyle, what kind of bags you gravitate towards, your body frame. There's so many factors. So I'm going to be talking about a few of them and kind of like going through a checklist. It's the same that I go through as far as, is this bag going to be right for me? Am I actually going to get use out of it? Because it's the worst thing, and we've all done it, where you buy a bag, you're so excited about it, but you honestly never reach for it for whatever reason. And so over time, I've kind of developed these questions I ask myself before I buy something so I can minimize the amount of times I'm buying bags that just don't suit my lifestyle. The first question you want to ask yourself is the size. So you want to check the size of the bag and what actually can fit in that bag. And so, there's such a spectrum of mini bags to large bags, and usually people have their preferences or they like a little bit of both. So you have to look at, what's in your collection already, what do you have, what are you missing, and what the function of that bag would be. So say it's like a big tote like this, what do you need that for? Do you have a reason and an occasion for that bag? More than one, like an outfit, we sometimes just buy for one occasion, but do you have a specific purpose for that bag? Is this gonna be your day-to-day bag? Is this gonna be a special occasion bag? Is it gonna be a travel bag? And if you need recommendations for those, I actually have videos I will link down below. I've made a ton of videos about my favorite bags for certain occasions, so that might be helpful as far as thinking about the size and the type of bags. But so the first thing you want to consider is the size of the bag, and is it functional for your lifestyle? Another thing you want to think about with bags is the functionality. So not only the size, but there are certain things like top handles and straps that can make a bag either really easy to use or really difficult to use. So let me see, for example. So there's just something super easy like this. So it's a zip opening. So zipping, open, and close. So, a closing will have more security, but it also takes a little bit more time to get into and out of. So it's just something you have to consider. Like if you have a lot of kids and it's harder to get in and out, a tote style might be more easy for you. And this is only like shoulder bag or handheld. So if you're more of like someone who likes something crossbody, then maybe something like this is not going to be as functional for you. Or say even something like this. Now this is even less functional because you can only really handhold it. I mean, you can kind of slip it on your wrist like this, but you're trying to hold a bunch of stuff. If this is supposed to be like your day bag, it's probably not going to work as much for your lifestyle. And it kind of just depends on what you do day to day. But like if I was going grocery shopping, for example, like this is not the bag I would carry just because I need my hands free to do stuff. So once I have like an extra strap option, so say like this bag right here, this is super functional for me personally because it has not only a top handle, so it's easy to grab, like getting in and out of your car, which I find if something doesn't have like some sort of top handle, if it just has a strap, it's a lot harder to kind of grab out of the side of your car to get out. And that's such a personal thing for me, but I like having a top handle as well as a strap for the bag because I just find that that's super easy. I can wear it any way I want. And having an adjustable strap too is really nice because then you can wear it either just over the shoulder if you're just quickly trying to run in, throwing it over your shoulder, going in and out, or if you're going to be out for a little bit of a longer time, or if you've got kids, you need to wrangle things, it's nice to have a crossbody option. It's usually a little bit more comfortable to wear and a little more secure. It doesn't feel like it's going to slide off or fall. So for me, the most functional style bag will have, again, top handle, one or two, or and the strap. Now, something else to consider is the color of the bag that you're gonna choose. So sometimes we think, oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful color, super bright. So for example, this bag. Now, I've made this mistake before, and I had a pochette Matisse in a red color. And you hear a lot of people always say like, oh my gosh, red, it's such like a staple color, especially like in Chanel bags. Red is a super desirable color. And for some people, they wear their red bags all the time. But for me personally, red is just not a color I reach for. It's not something I wear a lot. I'm more of like a blue person. So when I had the Pochette Matisse in red, I honestly just didn't reach for it a lot. And I ended up selling that bag and taking a loss on that bag because it was just not a color that I found myself reaching for. I'm very much more neutrals, or if it is a pop of color, it's more of like a bluish, purplish than like a bright red or a pink. I do have a couple pink actually, but again, I don't reach for those as much as I reach for like my neutral colors or like a blue if I want to pop, like I said. So that's something to consider. Just look at your closet and your wardrobe. What do you wear the most of, and what would go the most with the most outfits? Because if it's something that completely clashes, then you're just never gonna wear it. So, you know, black bags, brown bags, beige bags, and white, although white, you know, can be hard to keep clean. Those color ranges are usually the bags you're gonna get the most use out of. So I would start with neutral colors first. So neutral colored bag, I would start with those in your collection before you start expanding out into colors. Unless you were just like, I've always wanted X color bag, and then go for it. You know, if that's something that you feel like you would get the most wear out of, you know, everyone's different. Not everyone always wears neutrals, but you have to just figure out what color you feel like you get the most use out of and the function of that bag. So it's the mix of the color, but also the function of when you would be using that bag. So another thing I think about as far as when I'm purchasing handbags is, do I need it to be something that can be in a lot of different types of weather? So for rain, if you live in like a rainy place and it's a bag that you want to be able to carry day to day, I would suggest something like canvas or nylon, because those are the most durable. And some of the least durable, of course, is like lambskin leather. Caviar leather is a little bit better off in the rain, but I wouldn't carry it out in the rain either, honestly. So yeah, stick to those two types if you need something to be weather resistant. So that's also something to consider as far as your total use of the bag, what occasions you need to use it for, and the weather that it would be. And also one more thing to consider about a bag. So say you see a bag and you're like, oh, that just couldn't work for my lifestyle. Say like I need a strap for something. Well, there are certain bags or hacks or things you can do. So like, say example, this vanity case didn't come with a strap or anything, just had a little top handle. And I'm like, you know, that's not super functional for daily use. But otherwise, the bag would be if it had a strap. Well, there's actually a way that I added a strap to this, and then it's perfect. So now it has a little strap. So there's always kind of like ways and things you can do. And that's something, again, you could Google, look in the purse forum. Maybe people have some hacks or Instagram hacks to see if there's a way you can make a bag more functional for you. And one more example with straps is, so for example, like I said, I like a top handle and a crossbody. So the boy bag has a crossbody or shoulder strap, but it doesn't have a top handle. So like pulling it in and out of the car was always a little bit more difficult for me. But this makes it really easy to add a top handle to it. And then it automatically has made the bag much more functional for my life, and I end up getting so much more use out of it by adding a strap. So that's another thing to just consider when you're thinking about the use or the functionality of a bag. And then sometimes you're like me and you just don't listen to any of those rules, and you buy just like random little things like this that barely fit anything, or this, which barely fits anything. But honestly, it's also about what sparks joy. So if something you really, really love, but it's maybe not gonna be the most functional thing, sometimes we say, oh well. And if it is in our budget and it works and it makes us happy, then why not, right? Like, we do what we do. And but yeah, I know these things are just so cute, and so they're not something I'd recommend buying all the time. You know, you want to have some functional stuff too. but getting a little cute piece here and there is not gonna be that big of a deal. Just know, you know, it's not gonna be that functional, but if it makes you happy, then that's okay too. So I hope you found some of this information really helpful. Any links to anything I will put down in the description box. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.